Hi, this is Chloe from Inner Whispers. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Untitled Tarot de Marseille, the ancient Marseille Tarot, which is a Grimaud deck. And fundamentally, I've read Marseille decks for quite a while, but the cards are just so ugly. So up until now, I have had decks to read in this style, obviously. My favourite probably is the Isis Tarot de Marseille, which you can see the colours are a lot prettier, the pictures are better drawn, so it's very traditional but without being quite so very ugly. Like you look at the people and they're a bit prettier and just, you know, the whole thing, it's nicely done. Equally, I have the Oriental Foudraz Tarot, which is done in the chinoiserie style, so Chinese style, like they have. So these are once again Marseille style, but pretty. Sorry, I like pretty. And I also have the rather amusing Cat Marseille Tarot, which is, you know, it has cats everywhere. Every card has a cat on it, one place or another. And this one uses the traditional Marseille colouring a lot more, but still it is prettily done, even though it is in the traditional colours. And yeah, most of it is sort of Marseille style, but there are, it has to be said, the odd touch. Like they have these little vignettes in the middle or somewhere on the cards to kind of help give you some of the meanings. It's very well done, and it's funny and it's pretty, so hey. But I'm working on something at the moment where I need to go super traditional and be able to put up some traditional images. So super traditional it is. Shall we have a look inside? So let's take a look inside the Untitled Tarot de Marseille. Right, for this unboxing, I thought, so here's the box, just like that. There's also a little white book. Alright, okay, half in English, half in French. The Art of Playing Tarot Cards. A little description. Basically, this is all the court cards and one word for each of the minors. So, yeah. And how to play tarot. So that might be quite funny. I'll have a look later. For now, let's focus on the cards. As I say, I've kind of always steered away from this because I thought it was quite ugly. So I thought for this unboxing, what I might do is compare it with the Isis Tarot de Marseille, which has been my sort of preferred go-to deck to show the difference in the colouring and just the level of detail in the imagery and so forth. For example, right here, you know, the ground is all yellow here, whereas here we have blue, which is an interesting choice. Also, the dog is blue rather than being skin coloured, I guess. And here, this looks like it's his actual bum, whereas that looks like it's part of his clothes. I don't know if they just didn't want a naked bit. Who can tell? So it really is quite different, and I know that a lot of commentators believe there's a meaning to the colours. So it's good to kind of have this basic thing back because, you know, it is quite different, put it that way. So let's keep going. Here we have the Magician. The La Papesse. L'Impératrice. She looks a lot less haggard in this version, because that's another thing. I always find these people look so tired, and I think it's just, I don't know, poor drawing skills, blocky bits. I don't know. Anyhow. The Emperor. The Pope. The Lovers. The Chariot. La Justice. So interestingly here, her crown has no colours, and here it does. It really does make a big difference. So it will be interesting to see, yeah, what's going on with all of that. Here we have the Hermit, l'Ermite, la Roue de Fortune. Yeah. La Force. I like that there's a little bee in this one too, but hey, yeah, it's different. And for example here, the colours have been almost completely swapped around. It is really very different. Like he's got blue shoes here and red trousers, and red shoes and blue trousers. So, card 13, Temperance. She's, yeah. And here we have the Devil, La Maison Dieu, there's quite a few spelling mistakes on this one. It is from somewhere not originally French speaking, so we'll let them off. And look what a difference, blue hair to blonde hair, and yellow ground to green ground. La Lune, le Soleil, le Jugement, Le Monde, and I wasn't sure exactly which order they'd have it in, so I'll bring these bits in. So, the suit of Wands, let's take a look. 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, here the crosswork pattern is so much clearer when it's not just a solid lump, but hey. So once again, the coloured scheme has really changed largely. This one, we have a lot of red in the ones, which of course is more traditional these days, but it's very interesting the fact that there is so little red in these ones. And what does that say to us? Alright, okay, they'll have the court cards somewhere else. Let's grab our swords. Yes. And the swords are always a tricky one. They don't look that swordy, some of them, it has to be said, in the Marseille. But, you know, obviously it's one of those things where the more you get used to it, the easier it is. And it's interesting as well, there's more variation in the colours of the swords in the centre. This one's blue, this one's kind of skin colour again, blue again, whereas these ones in the Isis Marseille are all red in the centre. Here's a yellow one, red again, and these two are blue, these ones are pale blue, they do look more steely. So, let's find the cups. A very big cup, used to represent the home, I believe, sometimes. 2 of cups with funny fish figures above. 3 of cups with flowers, more flowers, even more flowers, different kinds of flowers, leafy bits. And then here, nothing but the cups. So that's quite interesting as well, sudden change. Moving on to the pentacles. So obviously, once again, much more natural colours here and more variety. It was difficult, I guess, with the block printing that they had in those days. And, oh, very different. This one's 1930, that one's 2010, that shows. Oh, in fact, 1748 and then 1930. Yeah. And very different emblem here. This is like the fleur-de-lis, whereas this one looks like a quite different flower. So it's interesting to see the quite strong differences in some of the symbolism due to my having not wanted a deck that I thought was ugly, which I kind of think it still is, but hey, we'll live with that. Here we have the Valet de Bâton, the Page of Wands. Oh, right, okay, we're having all the quartz of a single level at a time. So all the valets. Here's the cups. I mean, look, this one barely looks human, really. You know, and I would never have guessed that that was a young person if I hadn't had the title to go by. Okay, enough of my griping. And the Page of Pentacles. There we go. Then we move on, to the Queens, just to confuse me even more. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, to compare, the Queen of Cups, eek. There we go, sorry, and the Queen of Pentacles. Then the King of Wands, the Kings of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Then we have our knights, the Cavalier. Okay, I must have had the wands one further back. Can't find him, sorry, you're going to have to live without seeing that one. Of Swords, of Cups, and of Pentacles. And then we have two little cards, just because they had the space, I guess. So that is the Untitled Tarot de Marseille. It is the sort of narrow cards that you do generally get for the correct traditional proportions of the Marseille deck, and the back is very simple and I don't know if you can really call it plain, but it's certainly fully reversible. The cardstock feels pretty reasonable, shuffles nicely actually, and I'll try a little riffle as well. So that riffles well as well, all very nice in terms of the cardstock. And quick draw. So it is a total new beginning, and I shall have to throw myself into the joys of this and see what new learnings I can get from having this different